Well, hey, good morning. Or actually, yeah, it's still morning. Got another 5 minutes till the top of noon. Just want to invite you to tonight's call. We have a Wednesday night live Q&A that happens on our go-to meeting website. There's a link in the bottom of this video that you can click on. Again, it's at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to have a good time answering some questions. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, a lot of tax revolting going on out there. And, that sentiment is good, but it's short lived. Okay. And so everybody can pull back on sending in money to the IRS and all that stuff, and they can. If you think that the algorithm or the computer isn't going to keep track on exactly what you do, they're okay if you don't file or pay and all that stuff. They're just going to keep track of it. And what's going to happen is the opposite of what happens when the government shuts down. See, when the government shuts down and nobody's getting paid, they're all going home. Listen, they're all going to get paid. Okay. It's all going to be retroactive. It is a big screwing. So they can all stop working. They really don't care. Now, they don't get paid while they're in shutdown. That's the uncomfortableness about, working for government. But then after they get back, all that retroactive pay comes back in. It all comes back in. They just pushed it off. So it's just another big screwing that goes on. That's pretty common. But in the tax revolt, if you think that you're not going to file or pay if you have an income tax liability, and that the algorithm, the computers that manage when you file, how you file, all that stuff, if you don't think you're going to pay that cost, you're kidding yourself. That's not really a good remedy. And here's another thing I've learned over the years. And listen, I've been to Washington, D.C. I've demonstrated. I've been in D.C. with a bunch of people dressed up as V for Vendetta. We have demonstrated in front of the IRS buildings and in front of courthouses. Just demonstrating is one of those things that people do over the years. What I've learned about demonstrating is the benefit is you get to see other people that feel the same way you do. But listen, the people in government do not give a crap about your demonstration unless they at some point get the idea that the numbers that are demonstrating that it's going to affect them being in power and they're not going to get elected. That's the thing they care about. And so that's another subject matter. But you demonstrating is just a beautiful act and it doesn't change a thing. Okay. So that's what people think is a good thing. And listen, I've been a part of marches and stuff where 1 million people have been in Washington, in front of Washington, at the mall in DC. Again, it's just a thing. And really, I think that any American in some capacity should demonstrate and, see how that feels and all. Resisting, that's one of those things that you should feel in your bones. And, and this is some of the sentiment that I've said over the years is that, no one's rights are violated when you obey government because you're choosing to obey. Okay. It's only when you disobey government that you're going to find out if your rights are going to be violated. Okay. So the fine art of disobeying government is an important thing. And that's some of the things that come out like digital IDs and all that social media stuff and all that's going to come out. My recommendation is that you resist that or know where your line is in which you're going to not obey and you're not going to do what you're being told to do, especially if it's certainly in violation of law. Because free speech is a big deal, so nobody's going to be governing your speech. Now, these platforms are private platforms. They're owned by corporations and they can decide what they want to have on them. They're not a public venue. So you have to learn about those kind of things. But again, that's all part of being American, being free and understanding. And really, as I'm saying, being American, it's really true worldwide in any free society that you're a part of. If you know that you have a totalitarian government, an oligarchy or some, a controlling government that is just known to violate your rights, well, then you should escape immediately and get away from that kind of an environment. So anyway, and some people will call that California or New York or Illinois. But anyway, you can depart those states and go to other states in which your rights are not going to be abused that way. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the fears and concerns about stopping filing and changing your status and eliminating your federal income tax. But if you are from Canada or the UK, or you're from Australia and you want to join us on this live Q&A tonight, by all means, join us. And we're going to develop some remedies for you as well. The principles are the same, and I believe those remedies are the same. And so we're interested in some of these people from the UK, Australia, and Canada, in being a part of a community in which I will show you a pathway that you can go. We can look and see what is the basis of your income tax and see if we can eliminate that for you, and so that you can keep 100% of the fruit of your labor. But that'll be tonight at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And you can check out the link for that at the destinationfreedom.org website. Or I believe in the bottom of this video, in the description, there may be a link there. I believe there is, if YouTube allow that. There's a link that you can get on the call. Okay, so hopefully we can see you there. If you're a client of ours already, you're already doing the process, then you can email us at statecitizen@destinationfreedom.org and request the client link. And that's an hour earlier than our call. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's only for clients and those that have signed up for our passport process and things like that. So we're going to talk about some of the concerns that people have for eliminating income tax liability and some of the consequences. Not that they're bad, but, decisions and choices have consequences, and so you get to enjoy that. But hope to see you tonight, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, take care. Have a good one.